Lanny is actually at the ER right now, so we certainly want her in our prayers. Mr. Prophet has called and was aware his surgery be here. And Eric Lawler also has messaged that he.
Aaron's actually here. We'll be a little bit late.
Yeah, I saw it. He's coming around. While we're waiting on Mr. Frazier, there's a couple of changes to the agenda. The first one is, the mayor will address in her mayoral report, it's the governor's response and recovery fund grant / contract that needs to be addressed, and she will explain that a little bit further during her time. And also, I would like to add among the silence, the upcoming anniversary of Hurricane Helene is next week, and we all know it's still on our minds and our hearts. And our community is still recovering and will be for years, of course. So I'd like to have a moment of silence before Commissioner Raines has the opening prayer, and certainly keep those people who lost their homes in our hearts. And also the Hampton High School who lost, for now anyway, lost their school home. They're still adjusting to it. So with those changes, have a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
As a vote. We don't have to change to fix it.
He said it's gonna get.
Motion to approve agenda with changes. Heard somebody. Okay. And we have a second.
Second, Gary.
Is there any discussion? Not working, sorry. Yes. That motion passed. Take her phone just a second. And we'll have a moment of silence, and then Commissioner Raines will have opening prayer, and then Commissioner Burrow will raise the flag.
Most kind and Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and for your many wonderful blessings. We thank you for the honor of being able to assemble here tonight to conduct county business. I ask that you help us make the decisions that we need to make, and everything we do be in your glory. I ask you to be with each and every one of us here and out in the community and out in our country, Lord, that are struggling and need help. We ask this through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Attention, salute, pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to recognize the elected officials and appointed officials.
I don't think we actually took a vote to approve the agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I thought we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, you weren't here.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, I fell asleep while we were taking that vote.
We voted for you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's recognize our appointed elected officials and appointed officials. Okay. We need to accept the meetings, and I wanted to ask Mr. Harden if we need to do two separate motions on that. Okay, so we'll need a motion to accept the minutes for August 18th. Mr. Acuff made the motion. Mr. Hughes second. Is there any discussion? Second, need to be made. All right, so. Thomas. Yes, but. All right, thank you, motion passed. Now we need a motion for the September 4th special call meeting. Mr. Brown made the motion and Mr. Hughes second. Is there any discussion? Okay, let's take a vote. Holmes. Yes. Thank you, motion passed. We have approval of the notaries and bonds.
Anton Decker, Brittany Danielle Bird, Kayla Ann Shipley, Patricia A. McLeeson, Amanda Leanne Scout, Caitlin Berry.
A motion to approve by Commissioner Brown, second by Commissioner King. Is there any discussion? Take a vote. Carolyn Thomas? Yes. Thank you, motion passed. Okay, we're down to number 10, where we're going to be voting on chairperson, vice chair, and then also going on into committee assignments.
I would like to make a motion to elect Kelly Collins as chair.
Second.
So we have a motion to elect Commissioner Collins.
Second.
Madam Chair, I move that nominations cease and we elect you by acclamation.
Do we need a second for that?
Ginger seat.
Second.
Sorry, you second.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Thank you, I appreciate the support. Hope it passes. Let's take a vote. Second.
Would be embarrassing if it failed.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. I will certainly try to do my very best.
Getting out early.
That is one of the things on my list. Okay, now we will open the floor for vice chairman.
Nominate Todd Smith.
We have a nomination for Commissioner Smith.
I'll second.
I nominate Gary Kemp.
Second. I'm good, Kim.
Commissioner Kemp? Is that enough?
Ain't making it.
Acuff,
And we have a nomination for Mr. Acuff, Commissioner Acuff, Dr. Acuff.
I second, Dr. Acuff.
I don't think we have to have a second.
No, not on nominations.
Just making sure.
It wasn't hurt anything, so.
I nominate Lisa Children.
Okay, we have a nomination for Commissioner Childers. Any other? No? You're declining?
I decline the nomination.
Okay. We don't have one.
Close nomination.
Is there anyone else?
Close nominations.
And we have a motion to close nominations. Second. Thomas second that.
To close,
Close nominations.
right, who made that motion?
No, I'm sorry, Commissioner Wynn, and then Mr. Thomas made the second.
Thomas, made the second, to close, Charlene.
Commissioner Thomas. Okay, is there any discussion? Okay, we're voting on closing nominations, okay? Just make sure that's clear.
Kelly? Greg Moffitt? Charlene Thomas?
Thank you. Okay, you will vote by voice for either Commissioner Smith or Commissioner Acuff. One second, you'll check the ready.
Keith Range?
Acuff.
Dr. Acuff?
Acuff.
Nancy Brown?
Acuff,
Avery Wynn?
Acuff.
Julie Wynn?
Acuff,
Bradley Johnson?
Acuff.
Steve Burrow?
Acuff.
Angie Odom?
Acuff.
Danny Deal?
Acuff.
Gary Kemp?
Smith.
Gary Profit?
Acuff.
Lisa Childers?
Acuff.
Charlene Thomas?
Acuff.
Donnie Cable?
Smith.
Jason Clausen?
Smith.
Todd Smith?
Smith.
Leslie Hughes?
Smith.
Aaron Frazier?
Smith.
Jerry Stout?
Smith.
Kelly Collins?
Acuff. Okay, 7 to 13, Commissioner Acuff. Before we get to the meetings, I want to make a comment about Commissioner Holden's spot. Attorney Harden has informed me that it needs to be decided on before December meeting.
120 days from the vacancy. You could do it at the December meeting, but just in case in the past that meeting's been canceled, you may want to think about doing it in November.
So with your approval, we need to add it. You say at least have time for that November meeting. So if it's all right with you all, we'll go ahead and put that in the paper and start advertising for it.
We need a motion for that.
Yeah, just, it wouldn't hurt
The advertised position.
for the November meeting.
So that's our implementing. Is there any discussion on that? Let's go ahead and vote.
Your profit.
Okay, thank you. We'll get that started. And now we're considering debating to the standing committees. I don't want to pull my teacher card, but some of you did not call or email and let the clerk's office know which committees you wanted to be on. So I guess you have to district.
Yeah, I just go district by district.
Announce which committees you plan to be on, and if there's a problem, you'll get to go from there. I don't think there is. We'll start from District 1.
The first district is written, Commissioner Range for Health and Welfare, Building and Grounds, Law Enforcement Rules and Bylaws. Commissioner Holder to Landfill, Education, Highway and Agriculture. Myself to Budget Nominating.
Okay, District 2.
We agreed to stay on the same committees. Julie's gonna stay on budget, Avery's gonna stay on building and grounds, and I'm gonna stay on education. I also will remain on ag.
I'm sorry.
I'll remain on the ag committee, I can put that on the.
District 3. District 3 is up.
Yes, I just wanted to state also, we did send emails, so in case somebody here, because I've got my email sent on September 4th, but it's showing that they didn't receive it on the paper. So I'm just,
Updated, I'm sorry.
oh, okay, you're okay. I was just making
It's
sure.
all staying the same.
Everything's the same, Madam Chair.
District 4.
You read them.
There's a couple of.
Danny Deal is on landfill, education, highway, and animal shelter. I'm going to be on nominating and budget. And Mr. Prophet is doing health and welfare, building grounds, law enforcement, and rules and bylaws.
District 5.
I'm going to go ahead. Commissioner Childress is going to stay on landfill, education, and highway. And correction, Commissioner Thomas is going to go to the budget committee, which would leave health and welfare, that committee, for the person that takes the new seat.
We will try to cover it until then.
Yeah.
One of us will go. Was that don't know about the budget? Somebody else made it out there.
That was me.
6.
District 6, State of Boston, Health and Welfare, Building and Grounds, Law Enforcement Rules and Bylaws. Cable, landfill, education, highway, Todd Smith, budget nominating.
District 7.
District 7, Carol Whaley is going to remain on landfill and education and highway. Leslie is going to remain on budget and nominating, and I'm going to remain on building and grounds at all.
District 8, I plan to stay on budget, nominating. Thomas Prophet will be on health, welfare, budgets, ground, law enforcement, rules and bylaws. And Chair will be on landfill, education, highway.
Is there any discussion, any changes? Can we have a motion to accept? While she's getting that ready, please, if you cannot be there, and we all know things happen, please try your best to call one of your colleagues in the district who is in, if at all possible.
Yep. Thomas, Smith, Hughes, and Stout for budget nominating.
You said your name.
Yeah, normally just one motion to confirm all.
We don't need a vote.
You gotta put camp up there before.
Budget only.
One vote to confirm all the appointments.
I've got it in there, separate votes.
Big win. Wrong. Gary Kemp's 4th district.
She'll take that off.
When did you get these from District 5? Pardon? Okay, it's there now. Okay, good. Thank you.
Second, John.
Yeah, she's got. Just use the.
I've got Range, Avery Wynn, Angie Odom, Drew Collett,
Yes.
open seat for District 5, Jason Clausen, Aaron Frazier, and Thomas Crawford.
This says per president.
No, on all of it, she's just typing them all in, so. This is all I get from October 25 to September 3rd.
Okay, for Education Landfill Highway, it's Nick Holder, Nancy Brown, Steve Burrow, Danny Deal, Lisa Childress, Donnie Cable, Harold Whaley, and Kelly Collins. Vote. I think she's gonna show the one. I'll have them all.
Did y'all hear that? We're gonna vote on all of them, but it's only gonna show the one committee, because I don't think it'll show her top off. But the minutes will reflect it. Okay, so is there any discussion? We need a motion by Commissioner Smith and second by Commissioner Williams. We have any discussion, let's vote.
Kelly. Terry Moffitt.
Yes.
Shirley Thomas.
Yes.
Brad Johnson.
Yeah, I'm debating.
Okay, thank you, motion passed for new committees.
Madam Chair, I have a question, legal. We have never done this in the commission before. Why are we as a whole voting on the committees? Because the authority is in the districts.
We do it every year. At the end of it, once all the districts had decided, we have a full commission vote confirming all the appointments every year. The last 12 years.
I must have missed 12 years.
We're asleep.
I know we do go on committees outside, because the authority and then the appeal, if there's somebody in the district that does not agree.
In the past, if there's a disagreement, the commission votes to decide within each district, but at the very end, we always have one full commission vote to confirm them all.
Well, I'll bring brain dead and another birthday then.
All right, let's move on to number 12, this is the financial management. Okay, great, we got 4 positions open.
Madam Chair, nominate Brad Johnson.
Commissioner Johnson,
Madam Chair, I'd like to nominate Aaron Frazier.
Commissioner Frazier,
Madam Chair, I'd like to nominate Jerry Stout.
Commissioner Stout,
Mr. Acuff.
Mr. Acuff,
I'd like to nominate Carol Whaley.
Commissioner Whaley. Anyone else? Okay, we'll close nominations. I don't think we have to have a,
You gotta have a second on closing the nominations and a vote, yeah.
okay.
You don't always have to make that motion. If there's no more nominations, you can just say, we're gonna vote now, but if somebody always makes that motion.
Okay. I didn't catch you made the motion, so now we have to vote on, okay. Now we need a second.
I'll second.
This is to close. This is to close. Nominate. Okay, if there's no more discussion, we'll vote. We're voting on closing nominations.
Terry Moffitt.
Yes.
Shirley Thomas.
Yes.
It's slow, but it's working. It works. It works.
Commissioner Johnson.
Brad Johnson.
I missed the 12 years.
Thank you, motion passed. All right, we will do a voice vote. You will vote up to 4, commissioners for financial management.
Could we get everyone's name again?
Just one second, I'm letting her get. Commissioner Johnson, Commissioner Frazier, Commissioner Stout, Commissioner Acuff, Commissioner Whaley to join, to choose from. Okay, so we'll start with District 1, just name up to 4 people for the financial management.
Johnson, Frazier, Stout, Acuff.
Dr. Acuff?
Acuff, Johnson, Stout.
Three.
Yes.
Yeah, just 3.
Nancy Brown?
Acuff, Johnson, Frazier, and Stout.
Frazier, Stout, yes.
Avery Wynn?
Johnson, Acuff, Frazier, Stout.
Julie Gwynn?
Frazier, Stout, Acuff, Johnson.
Bradley Johnson?
Johnson, Stout, Acuff.
Steve Burrow?
Acuff, Stout, Johnson, Whaley.
Whaley and Stout. Whaley and Stout.
Any deal?
Whaley.
Harry Kemp?
Johnson, Acuff, and Whaley.
Jerry Prophet?
Whaley.
She's packing in pack.
We don't know what year.
Lisa Childress?
Frazier, Stout, Whaley.
Charlene? Johnson, Frazier, Acuff, Stout. Donnie Cable?
Stout, Whaley.
Jason Clausen?
Johnson, Stout, Whaley, and Acuff.
You repeat that, I'm sorry.
Johnson, Stout, Whaley, and Acuff.
Stout, Acuff, Frazier, Johnson.
Leslie? Whaley, Frazier. Aaron Frazier?
Frazier.
Terry Stout?
Frazier, Acuff, Stout, Johnson.
Kelly Collins? Frazier, Stout, Acuff, and Whately.
Could you repeat your?
Yeah, Whaley.
Okay, Commissioner Johnson with 12, Commissioner Prager with 11, Commissioner Stout with 15, and Commissioner Acuff with 13.
You gotta have 12. So you got 3 people elected. Acuff,
Okay, so
Johnson, and Stout. Frazier had 11, Whaley had 10. Got to revote to get to 12.
So we'll be voting now for Commissioner Frazier, Commissioner Wade, is that correct? Everybody understand? Frazier had to have 12, and 2 of them only got 11, and the other got 10. So now you're going to be voting for 1. So we're voting for Commissioner Frazier or Commissioner Whaley. Okay, Commissioner Frazier.
Robert Acuff,
Frazier.
Nancy Brown,
Frazier.
Avery Nguyen,
Frazier.
Julie Nguyen,
Frazier.
Bradley Johnson,
Stain.
Steve Burrow,
Whaley.
Angie Odom,
Whaley.
Danny Deal,
Whaley.
Gary Kemp,
Whaley.
Jerry Prophet,
Yes.
Lisa Childers,
Whaley.
Charlene Thomas, Frazier, Donnie Cable,
Frazier.
Jason Clausen,
Whaley.
Todd Smith,
Frazier.
Leslie Hughes, Frazier, Aaron Frazier,
Frazier.
Jerry Stout,
Frazier.
Kelly Collins,
Frazier. Frazier had 13, Commissioner Wade had 6. So the Financial Management Committee will be Commissioner Johnson, Commissioner Frazier, Commissioner Stout, and Commissioner Acuff.
They did vote.
We've only been here 45 minutes, so let's keep going, okay?
Let's keep going.
The Chamber of Commerce. Commissioner Freeman.
Good evening. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Luke Freeman. I'm the Director of Tourism at the Chamber of Commerce. I'm here to provide our quarterly report on tourism. I think you've seen recently the Tennessee Department of Tourist Development released their 2024 county travel snapshots. I think Haley emailed those out to you all. Thanks, Haley. But some of the highlights from that include $53.3 million in direct visitor expenditures. In 2024, that was down a little bit, about 6% over the previous year. Most likely, due to Hurricane Helene, actually the last quarter of the year there. We see over $1.8 million in local taxes from visitors. That creates 379 jobs, and we see $193 in tax savings per household through those state and local tax collections. I'll certainly send that snapshot back out to you all again when I send you the written report here this week. So you can take another look at that. There's a lot of great information in it. Last month, we did a strategic planning meeting with our board of directors. A few of the goals that came out of that included working with the State Park and other partners for the America 250 event. We want to plan something for Carter County, since it is kind of one of the birthplaces of the American Revolution and that are so much of that early history. We want to promote that and bring folks here for that. We're also looking into more opportunities to work with content creators and influencers, looking at creating and promoting some trip itineraries, stuff like what to do on a long weekend with the family here. If you're coming for a fishing trip, what are some things to do, maybe targeted to an older crowd. Just kind of try to target some of those different demographics, put some stuff up on our website and find ways to promote those. We're looking at creating a map and some more detailed information for the Tweetsie Trail. That's something in our visitor center. We hear a lot of folks come in and say, where do I get on the trail? What is along the trail? These kind of questions. And so kind of having a better resource to provide people for that. I know there was like a rack card when the trail first opened and stuff with some of that on there, but that hasn't been reproduced in a while. And so that's something we would like to kind of take the lead on and create and distribute to folks who are looking for that kind of information. Another thing that was brought up was trying to do a better job promoting our wedding venues. That's kind of a big form of tourism these days. We see folks. I was just talking to Noreen over at Bee Cliff Cabins today, and she's talking about having a wedding day almost every weekend over there at her venue. And so trying to promote those things. So that's another way we can bring folks in. Not everybody just comes just as a tourist. Sometimes they're coming as a wedding guest or something. So we want to kind of promote those things. We recently received over $22,000 grant from the Tennessee Department of Tourist Development for their marketing grant, which is going to fund our ad in the Tennessee Vacation Guide, as well as a kind of featured article on their website, giving one of those itineraries, as well as cross-posting that on livability.com, which is kind of a relocation website, and some other print and digital advertising as well. Coming up here soon, we're sponsoring the Covered Bridge Days Festival. We've also put promotions for that in our state magazine's e-newsletter, Blue Ridge Digest and Blue Ridge Outdoors magazines. We were able to get promoting that event in to hopefully bring some folks in. Of course, that's coming up next week. I'll see lots of people there. And then this weekend, I guess. And then next week is the College Bassmaster Bracket Championship, I believe is the name of the tournament. And we talked about this last month, so I won't spend too much time on that, but I've had multiple folks call me who are sitting there saying how excited they are and what the deal this is for us. So we're excited about that. Again, with my conversation with Noreen, she said she had booked several different cabins for family and stuff coming as part of that event. So it's bringing some people for that. Of course, there's only 8 folks fishing, so it's not a huge crowd, but we do think it'll be a great way to promote. It's streamed online. And they do weigh-ins every day at 3 o'clock. That event's Friday the 26th through Monday the 29th. So we welcome the community to come out at 3 o'clock to those weigh-ins and spectate. That's something we've been kind of promoting. We've put up some posters around town and stuff to try and get some folks out to support. We're doing a streaming and podcast media campaign with iHeartMedia. We started that last month. We're targeting specifically folks interested in fishing as well as people interested in family travel. Last month we had over 233,000 impressions with that. We're continuing to do print ads and publications like Blue Ridge Outdoors, focusing on living, Blue Ridge Digest, the Tennessee Fishing, Hunting, and Trapping Guide, as well as the Virginia Hunting and Trapping Guide. So we're continuing to push out a lot of that advertising, as well as continuing our digital campaigns that we do, search engine marketing, social media marketing, YouTube marketing as well. I do want to remind you that we're no longer on a renewing contract, and our contract ends in March. So we're getting a little low on time with that. We hope you will see the value in this contract and wish to renew that. There are some things, that we're planning long-term that's difficult for us to do on real short notice. I've already been talked to about the Omni bike race for next year, being able to sponsor that again. Haven't been able to commit to that. We certainly wouldn't want that to be taken back to Johnson City or something because we couldn't come up with a title sponsor here. There's been other opportunities. There was a co-op through the state tourism department with Garden and Gun magazine that's for next summer that I just have to say, I don't have a commitment of funding for next year, so that's something I can't do right now. So there is some of that stuff. I know that seems like a long way off. I just want y'all to understand that there are reasons that we're trying to get this figured out as soon as possible so that we can kind of seamlessly keep promoting Carter County and bringing those visitor dollars. I think that's all I've got. If y'all ever have any questions, you can certainly reach me at the Chamber of Commerce. Come by, give me a call, send me an email. I'll email you all a written copy of this report, and so you'll have my email. Does anybody have any questions? Thank you.
Can you go over the dates again for the Covered Bridge celebration and then the Bassmaster? That's the 20th.
The Covered Bridge Days is going to be this coming Friday through Sunday. And the Bassmaster is the next weekend. It runs Friday through Monday, 26th through the 29th.
Just exciting. I'm ready for our finance director's report.
Okay, just to clarify, your financials are in your packet for the previous month, but also there is an updated set for the month of June. It has the year-end closing entries included in it. Also in your packet are the emergency spend and updated fund report. So if you have any questions on those, please let me know. Email, call, come by my office, any of that's fine. I did change the format a little bit. We'll probably be changing it again once we start getting additional monies in. I've also wanted to report we are now at step 3 of 14 for the TEMA approval / disbursement process. This is beyond the 19-step process that we just went through to get to the point where we were going to be getting money. So we have to move forward with that and get weekly updates from them as to where we are in that process. We also have an additional update on the temporary bridge project obligation. I should have more information on that on the 17th. It did move up 1 step, and we're hoping it will move again at least 1 step on the 17th That one is still at the federal level, so once that gets further, then it'll go back through the TEMA process. And then also just call to your attention that the special call meeting will be on the 9th of October instead of the 2nd. The 2nd will make it very difficult to get some of these final invoices in for the road project, so we needed to delay that. So that's all I have unless anyone has any questions.
Are there any questions? They won't be here all night.
We budget our budget to fill it, so why we.
Just somebody here.
We can
If you need to.
I mean, no, the clerk's office has to be here for full commission meetings.
But I mean, they're saying, we make our Franklin County, Lizzie.
That's that's fine, it's up to the clerk.
Have somebody, Mary or.
Okay. We'll work out the special call meeting. Ready for the mayor report?
First of all, I'll say congratulations to Chairwoman Collins and Vice Chair APAP. I look forward to your leadership over the next year. So congratulations. Second, I think the Finance Department passed out a grant that is just I got this late Friday, so this is a grant that we'll need to approve to be reimbursed on the admin fees that occur to us during the processing of the grant. So it's $398,557, and that is reimbursement from the Governor's Relief and Recovery Fund from the governor. So they're reimbursing that money back. So we just need to do a motion and a second and approval for me to sign this grant contract.
Okay, motion, Commissioner Frazier, and second by Commissioner Smith. So any discussion on this? This is just to accept money.
It's to enter into the contract so the Finance Department can submit the reimbursement for us to get these fees back. Yeah.
Yes.
We do.
If there's no discussion, let's vote.
I'm abstaining, I don't.
Abstain.
Yep. Way out.
Passed.
Thank you. We'll get that into them. Next, I just have one real short proclamation, and I think many of you recognize over the past 6 months, we've been doing a lot of recognitions in the community from Helene, a lot of our first responders, community members. The last group proclamation I intended on doing was to recognize the Carter County Commission. There's been a lot of ups and downs, a lot of big decisions made by this group, and I just wanted to express my thank you to each one of you. The many meetings, the late nights, the emails, the decisions that you never thought you'd have to make. So I wanted to express my thank you. So in your honor, I wanted to read this proclamation on A mayoral proclamation recognizing the Carter County Commission for their service during Hurricane Helene. Whereas on September 27, 2024, Hurricane Helene struck Carter County and the surrounding region, bringing flooding, damage, and hardship to many of our citizens. And whereas in the days and weeks that followed, the Carter County Commission worked continuously to guide the county's response, often meeting late into the night for special called meetings, spending long hours in discussion and making decisions that were critical to moving recovery efforts forward. Whereas commissioners remained in close communication with one another and with county officials to ensure that needs of the community were being addressed quickly and effectively. And whereas many commissioners went beyond their official duties, giving their time not only in the courtroom, but also in the community, volunteering in recovery efforts, assisting with supplies, checking on families, and supporting neighbors in need. Whereas some commissioners offered direct help to citizens who were cut off from the storm, while others assisted at the Elizabethton Municipal Airport unloading supplies from helicopters, organizing donations, and helping to move relief where it was needed most. Whereas both their official roles and their personal efforts, the members of the Carter County Commission provided steady leadership, support, and encouragement during a time of great difficulty. Whereas the work of Carter County Commission has continued well beyond the immediate aftermath of the storm, as the body still holds special called meetings to address ongoing recovery needs, while also carrying out their regular duties and responsibilities on behalf of the people of Carter County. Whereas the commissioners remain committed to serving the citizens of this county, not only in matters related to Hurricane Helene, but in all areas of county government, striving each day to make decisions that serve and support the community. Now therefore, I, Mayor Patty Whitby, by virtue and authority vested in me by the laws of the great state of Tennessee, do hereby issue this proclamation on behalf of Carter County, Tennessee, and the citizens of our community to recognize and thank the Carter County Commission for their continued service, dedication, and hard work during and after Hurricane Helene. Thank you to each one of you for all of your work this past year, and thank you in advance for all the work that will continue in the year ahead. And I'll present this to them.
Thank you, we appreciate that. I want to go with this. I think we're going to go with 6 to 2, or we need to take a break. Okay, let's continue. To say it fast. All right, we're on to any other comments. And this, as always, I encourage the public to speak. However, I wish that you be respectful with the comments. And you will have 5 minutes to speak. You come to the podium, state your name, the district that you live in. Is there any other comments tonight? Any public comments? We will move on to the monthly committee reports. Chair Makeup will direct that meeting.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Before we start and go through the 12 items for budget consideration by the commission, I'd like to take a point of privilege and remind everyone there's a vigil occurring tonight in the Tri-Cities for Charlie Kirk. And I would like for us to keep his family, his wife Erica, their 2 kids in your thoughts and prayers, and also our nation for what we've been through. It's totally inappropriate, as we all know, to shoot somebody over their First Amendment rights or their politics. And I pray, and I hope you will join me in this effort, that our nation can heal and that we can have civil dialogue again without violence. So thank you, Madam Chair, for that. Said we have 12 items tonight to consider. First item is a motion to authorize the sheriff's office to apply for and accept the annual TCI training equipment grant for an amount up to $15,000 with no matching funds from the county.
Second by Commissioner Kemp, is there any discussion? Okay, let's take a vote.
Gary Holden.
Aye.
Thank you, motion passed.
Okay, the second item, motion to authorize the sheriff's office to pursue the acquisition of a recreational vehicle to be used as a mobile command center at no cost to the county.
Second by Commissioner Childers, is there any discussion?
Lee has made a motion to amend budget. I have a call here. Do you need to amend that?
I don't know what mine's doing. Mine's behind.
Okay, if there's no discussion, we'll vote.
Gary Crawford?
Yes.
Any deal?
Yes. Okay, thank you, motion passed.
Item number 3, I'll place into motion to approve payment to Summers Taylor for invoice number 651609 in the amount of $744.32 for highway materials.
Commissioner Range made the second, is there any discussion? Okay, let's vote.
Gary Crawford?
Yes.
Any deal?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, thank you, motion passed.
Item number 4, I'll place into motion to approve payment to Summers Taylor for invoice number 651657 in the amount of $568.06 for highway materials.
Commissioner Smith made the second, is there any discussion? Okay, let's vote.
Gary Crawford?
Yes.
Thank you, motion passed.
Item number 5, I'll place into motion to approve payment to Summers Taylor for invoice number 651633 in the amount of $618.42 for highway materials.
Second by Commissioner Sweeney, is there any discussion? Okay, let's take a vote.
Gary Crawford?
Yes.
Any deal?
Yes.
Thank you, motion passed.
Okay, we're down to item 6, where we begin the budget amendments. I'll refer you to your packet for the itemized budget amendments. Certainly you can ask any questions, but you can find them in the packet. So we'll begin with number 6, and I'll place into motion to approve county funds budget amendment 101-3, items 1 through 4 in the amount of $11,353.62 with $6,000 coming from reserve funds and nothing coming from the person.
Second made by Commissioner Kemp, is there any discussion? vote.
Gary Crawford.
Thank you, motion passed.
Item number 7, place into motion to approve Highway Fund Budget Amendment 131-1, Item 1, in the amount of $11,161.10, with nothing coming from reserve accounts and nothing coming from the unassigned fund balance.
Second by Commissioner Cable, excuse me. Is there any discussion? Okay, let's vote.
Danny Deal. Gary Crawford.
Thank you, motion passed.
Moving on to item number 8, and I'll place into motion to approve General Purpose School Fund, Budget Amendment 141-2, items 1 through 15, in the amount of $3,713,373.58, with $23,996.02 coming from reserve accounts and $1,672,964 coming from the school fund balance.
Second by Commissioner Hughes. Is there any discussion? Thank you, let's vote.
Danny Deal.
Yes.
Gary Crawford.
Thank you, motion passed.
Let's move on now to item number 9. So I'll place into motion to approve School Federal Projects Fund, Budget Amendment 142-1, items 1 through 6, in the amount of $5,108,960.89, nothing coming from reserve accounts and nothing coming from the unassigned fund balance.
Second by Commissioner Brown. Is there any discussion? Let's take a vote.
Gary Crawford.
Yes.
Danny Deal.
Yes.
Thank you, motion passed.
We're down to item 10, so I'll place into motion to approve the Head Start Fund, Budget Amendment 145-1, Item 1, in the amount of $1,268,230. There's nothing coming from reserve accounts and nothing coming from the unassigned fund.
Second by Commissioner Wynn. Is there any discussion? Let's vote.
Danny Deal.
Yes.
Gary Crawford.
Thank you, motion passed.
Item number 11, I'll place into motion to approve the animal shelter monetary donations in the amount of $2,620.
Second by Commissioner Frazier. Is there any discussion? Let's take a vote.
Danny Deal.
Yes.
Gary Crawford.
Thank you, motion passed.
Done for our last item, budget. Item number 12, and I'll place into motion to approve the animal shelter non-monetary donations totaling $200.
Second by Commissioner Frazier. Is there any discussion? Let's vote.
Danny Deal.
Yes.
Gary Crawford.
Yes.
Madam Chair, are you back?
Mr. Johnson, financial management.
We take a 5-minute break.
I'm sorry. I thought you said you came up, you were ready to go.
We've been sitting in the saddle for over an hour.
No. take a minute, a break?
Let's take a break.
I
need it. I placed it in the motion.
That's my understanding. I said, let's take a break.
I second the
I think that Carrie said no.
It's all right. Nobody seconded it. All, sit back down. He made a motion.
Oh.
No one seconded.
That's a cheer.
Is there any discussion? Well, I didn't hear you say that.
Yes, there's discussion. I wonder why he's still standing up there when he wanted to take a break. That was a little confusing, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Motion in a second.
To take a break. Is there any discussion?
I didn't win.
You have to if you don't.
You made me and sister.
Delivered.
You have to. He made a motion, a second motion.
Had to make a motion there.
All right, we can do a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
You're looking good.
Better.
Yeah, you look like.
Yeah, I've been taking. I need to put a little.
Yeah, the three votes, and it said.
Because there's credit cards.
The decision, three commissioners, the decision. Takes 12 votes right now, or normally 13 votes a full commission for everyone. So we had
Right there, they can stick his side. Y'all see it. Like 4 sets here. Yeah, I had that problem. I had to go.
Because he's been on the analog.
It's probably worse because it's round to be on.
No.
Hi, buddy.
See, financial. That's it.
Hopefully, I'm agree. You know, which way the creek is.
We're gonna work some things too. Okay, I sent her an email.
Same as you.
She's gonna be putting it on TV and they just get
I'm gonna have to do for entertainment. Dance or something.
Ask if you want to bring me.
I was asking if we had it over. I can't help it.
I'm not voted on both them.
I heard about the news when they were sharing. I've heard everybody that's medical.
It's gonna be a Christmas present.
I think so.
I mean, he knows a lot about it. I'm not steering you.
Okay, good.
It's kind of a niche.
You know, his latest release is coming out next week.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. He's having a release party over down home. It's gonna be next week after. Yeah.
I was still laughing at Leslie's.
But not every year, right? I think it's every
I'm sure I like sound okay. I don't blame you. I do that too. I mean, you have one right about place, somebody's.
Get somebody in there and gets a good person. Sit back. So that's why I put the legs.
Just to be able to stand up and talk. It smells something, it smells like chili. There's chili back there.
Like you, he gave, I don't what you had. I don't what you had.
I've been upstairs. They have that ball, stick it in there.
I've done it now, but. Did you see me scrambling like where my notes? And I've been over here.
Usually once a week.
I would too.
Structure paid for.
I hear.
No, if it ain't like you'll be all right. It starts growling though.
All the way through.
I don't have no kids. All the way.
Ask Jason. Somebody the other day.
I just feel like I'm sitting here at this. Tissue paint. So we're gonna go out. Trees and stuff is there.
Something told you it's white.
we get to say free speech. Thank you, back to your seats.
I dropped that.
Okay, if you have back to your seats, that's Howard. Commissioner Johnson, will start with financial management.
As I only have one motion, which is under the committee, but I have a very important topic that I would like to call to your attention, and it would be in your packet with the minutes of the financial management in September. It's related to, under the old business, the title of the Tweety Trail. Those are several points. Last week we had our architectural firm, represented by Debbie Craig, of the firm, Fowler, who made a presentation with the joint city council, Elizabeth and the financial management committee at Pine Room down behind Sycamore Show. In the presentation, was reviewed. The problem is that, I'm going to say, an impasse. We accepted the money commission for the Tweety Trail, which was provided by the governor and general assembly of the state for $6.3 million, with $2 million being granted to the city of Elizabeth through our county. We're going to get grant the granting. But under the motion and the directive of this commission was financial management to obtain an AE firm and an estimate to assure us that we were able, with those funds, to complete the 4.5 miles of Tweety Trail, which takes you from here to Cindy around Hampton High School. The presentation by Mr. Craig was extremely wonderful. I mean, they had done their homework down to the T, every driveway. All the property acquisitions will have to be made. But under the orders of the county commission was to provide a recommendation to you all based on their estimate. There was no estimate given except a preliminary for the project, and it's not all total, but right now it's at $18 million. There's still more here to do. There's some, I don't know really, you have the chair on how to handle, and the attorney and I got to do how to do. But really, the financial management begins bring it before, because there is no way until everything is approved.
I didn't see, I mean, an estimate for each stage. I think you could bring, phase or stage, whatever they had it down in, I think it was 5. I mean, if you had the, you could do it in a stage if there was a number tied to it. I didn't see a final number tied to anything.
But the situation is, of course, the design firm came out with 6 different schemes, or 6 different pieces to it. I see your hand, sister, go right ahead. Hang on a minute.
Sorry, my button's just not working, sorry. Just want to make.
It's in 6 segments. The most expensive and the hardest part of that whole total project is in the Valley Ford station on 19E. But when we requested as a county from the governor and the general assembly was to do the complete project for $6.some million, there's no way we can. And my question is, do you send it back? What action do you think we need to take? It needs to be discussed, because it's gonna come up to financial management for recommendation of approval. We don't have these facts. And see, they're going to have a presentation to this body, and stated to them at our meeting down there, unless there are some numbers involved, it's not giving you all the information you need to make a vote. Yes, ma'am.
To me, my thing's not working, Kelly, I'm sorry. Several things. One is we do need to bring the master plan to this body to approve accepting the master plan, with the understanding that that master plan does not commit us to any money. It just says, here is what these consultants have decided are some options for this trail. You have to think kind of in a vision, because yes, the money that was asked for initially was for not much of a trail. I mean, it was a trail. But this company, these consultants have created a design for a premier trail that will last for years and years and years. I mean, it's paved, it's the gold standard trail, okay? This is a preliminary living and breathing plan that can be brought in here. We accept the plan. That's all we're gonna vote on initially. And then we decide, and if you know anything about trails, it is extremely common for them to be done in stages. I know of very few trails that I have traveled on, and I've been on almost all the rails trails in the United States. They are not just done in 15-mile increments. They're done in 5, 3, whatever. We then, after we adopt the master plan, we have some money, $6.3 million. Then we as a body come back and say, what can we afford to do? What stage, what section would we like to do? But this initial vote is not to determine what we're going to do except for to accept the master plan. We take that information and then we go forward. I wouldn't, and I said this at that meeting, Brad, we're not committing ourselves to spend $18 million. We're not. Nobody's doing that. We're only looking at the money that we have already been given. If we do not spend soon, we have to return to the state, which would be plus the interest, which would be a really stupid thing to do, because we got to pay for the consultants, which was what this commission voted to do. But let's get started, and then we come back and we vote on how we want to spend that $6.3 million. And there's different options. So that's why the money, we got to decide what we want to do and what we want to direct them to do after accepting the plan. Does that make sense?
Yes, if that was what the original was, it would make real good sense. That's the first time that this body has heard such detail. Our task was, because we had doubt, day one, that the money that was to be afforded to this county would be able to accomplish the 4.5. We doubted it, and I said, okay, let's prove it first before we take it. We don't want to spend none of that money if we can't do it. I'm not looking at phases, we're not looking. They went to Nashville and said, we can do it for, we got the 6.3, 2 million of it goes to the city, so you're in the 4 million bracket. And when I looked at the breakdown of the estimate, and it says the bridge itself was going to be 4 million, I thought, you got 4 more miles of road to build. So this commission says, okay, let's obtain the professionals to see if we have the capability. Fine. We have a master plan. They have some small alternate routes, but it does not save you hardly any money at all because of 19E. Now, as far as phasing, they should be somebody from the state say, okay, I understand the dilemma. You have the authority to proceed and do as much construction as you can with 4.some million. We've earned 444,000 in interest off of this while we're doing this. But they give us authority to do that because that was not what we went down and sold to Nashville. Didn't say about the face. I mean, I'm all for it. That's the most beautiful place in this county. But from the chair standpoint, as to the marching orders that this commission give our committee, we cannot succeed that until we have an estimate. And it's coming no time soon because you want a master plan. If you will notice, the 8.5 by 11 that we had in our hands at the meeting was what they took to Nashville, and you put it up against the design of Ross and Fowler, it's identical. But all it is put a little bit more lipstick on the pig. You still got a pig. So just keep that in mind, it's coming up, because I myself, as the chair of the financial management, I don't want it to come before the full commission for your all's approval or anything until they get those matters settled. Because if they bring in the information you vote on to take action on in this county and to commit those funds, I want you to know all the facts conceivably possible for you to make your decision. So, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. I just want to say a couple things because I did attend that as well. There was not, you're saying that they didn't provide any kind of estimates. There were several estimates in there. There were several different options. You're saying that you didn't have anything to vote on from FMC. That's incorrect. He told you that they could break it down into different stages and how we could do that. That was just the overall presentation. As a commissioner on this board, if you want to bring something in here and say that they were incorrect with this, then I would like to at least see the whole master plan. Like, are you going to bring that forward from FMC so that everybody can see it? Because not everybody has.
We can make it available.
Okay, thank you.
But in your statement about the cost, 18 million, and that is not the end.
I'm well aware of that, and I don't know if you, like, if you're aware of it, but life has changed a little bit over the last couple of years. Cost of building things has went up. So I expected it to go up. I expected it to be different than what it was. And we don't have to do it all at one time. That's why he told us in that meeting that he had some places, what was it, 20 years?
Yeah.
That they just now finished one stage for a project that they've been working on for 20 years. It's the final stage of it. Because it's like what, I forgot her name.
I want it done before I die.
And
did you have also, I'm sorry, I just want to double check. You want to speak to?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner,
We're a little bit.
Wait. Mr. Hughes, were you finished?
Just one more thing. I mean, they noted after after you talked to him at the very end and, you said that he didn't have any options for us to choose and you didn't know where you could go with it as FMC. He noted about how that there were so many things that were still up in the air, that there would have to be public engagement meetings. The community would have to come out and talk. There was all these different things that before a decision is ever completely made. But like what she said is that they wanted us to acknowledge the master plan, that they have presented it to us. And I think it's kind of unfair to come in here and berate the master plan and not even give it to the rest of the full commission. I yield.
Mr. Frazier.
When we entered into the whole conversation with the governor, the funds had three purposes. One was the expansion of the watershed trails and the installation of the pump track and park up there. The second was building a bridge over the Doe and then installing a park around Valley Forge, which was not part of it. The park part, installing the bridge is the major part. And then the last one was paying for the master plan to have everything else designed and laid out. That was the three purposes of the funds that we got from the governor. It wasn't to build the bridge. It wasn't to build the entire corridor because we knew that wasn't possible because we cannot do that without TDOT being involved. And TDOT works on a 15 to 25 year schedule anyway. So the idea was with us was to get the bridge built, start working on getting the top end up there in a park and parking lot and all the other fun stuff and get it connected to the watershed trails, and then deal with the rest of it with TDOT and making it safe and comfortable for people to actually want to use. So it wasn't designed to do the entire project from start to finish. It was designed to build a bridge, build the master plan, and install the bike park and whatnot at Hampton Watershed Trails, and expand the trails and go to the top of Dennis Cove. So that was the purpose of it when we went and got the money.
Okay, Mr. Smith?
One thing that they also said that came out of the meeting, both the meeting that we had with the city council and the meeting we had with the designers, a couple of times it's been brought up on the watershed trail. They made it pretty clear in those meetings that that trail on their list of priorities is not even on one of their pages right now. Am I right, Chair? You're correct. So that's $2 million that I don't know what they're going to do with, but they're not even wanting to address that at this point in time in either meeting that I attended. Just wanted to throw that out.
I just want to add something on for you, Todd.
Mm-hmm.
City of Elizabethton isn't actually doing any of the construction on the watershed trails. Sorba does all that, and they're the ones that contract the builder and stuff, because they have the MOU with Sorba to do all that. The city is not going to have to expend any assets or anything on it other than just processing the POs.
I may be early in asking this, but, you know, we talked about a provisional that didn't take you right down to the middle of 19E at Valley Forge. Did they look into the other option?
Yes.
Is that even going to be viable?
No, ma'am.
Julie, can you
You've
speak
got to go
up?
through 19E or you don't get there. Now, under the plan that the AE made is wonderful. I'm telling you, they've really done their homework. They've identified every driveway, every piece of property between here and Hampton, over the whole 9 yards. And then the recommendations for, I'm gonna say alternate route is so minor, we're talking about multi-million dollars. They're talking about 100,000 just to make some changes, you know, to alter the trail stuff. The prettiest part of it, if you're gonna do it in segments, is to go from, I'm gonna say, the bridge in Valley Forge. You get up there to the bridge at the tunnel, and that whole River Bend Valley in that part using the old state highway because the railroad was covered up when that 4-lane was put through. But that's beside the point. The point was that I'm after is you went down and sold the bill of goods for $5 million. We can't do it. The only thing I'm doing as a chair's responsibility is to tell you that it's way greater. That's what they had at the time. It's not a full, it's not inclusive, was 18 million that was on the screen. Because I see some heads say yes, that was when they were watching it.
That
Yes.
wasn't complete.
I just said it wasn't inclusive. It ain't the whole thing, but the minimum right now is at 18 million now. 18 million versus 5 million, you think the economy went up $13 million on a single? I don't believe so on your best days. But anyhow, if you look at the Financial Management Committee's notations on the presentation,
Commissioner Odom, speak also.
Oh, that's just what I was gonna ask you. So from what I'm hearing, from not being at that meeting, but knowing what we have been tossing around for a long time, you're stating, and what we have to consider is, there's only 5 million and something dollars, really 4 million and something dollars to work with. How far will that 4 million get? And if I'm understanding you correct and remembering right, that money was for us to complete the project on. It didn't say we could only go, you can have this money to only go this far. We've committed to, when we took that money, it's saying it has to be completed for that money. Is that correct? So if we, okay, that's why I'm hearing two different things. If we have to complete it and we don't have enough money, then there's our answer. because we can't complete it for that. And then we're gonna be obligating ourselves to something we can't do, especially being that we're building our town from a hurricane. So is that what I'm hearing from you?
That's right. They, two sides of the coin. One is multiple phases, which has never been spoken of until this presentation. Never been spoken of, not even in Nashville. There's nothing in writing. It tells multiple phases. It was complete. The only thing, I care less of what you do. I'm for building the Tweetsie Trail, but under the orders of this commission to us to provide for you, we cannot do. Now, that's all there is to it. You cannot complete that project for $5 million. Now, if you want to take it further than that, we have asked the mayor if they want to make contact with us, said, okey dokey, do it in phases. I think Mayor Woodley, didn't we say that it probably could get 3 of the 7 phases completed?
It's, right now, that was presented in 6 phases. With the money we have now, used to do up to probably 3 phases, or the commission could solely focus on the project that the funds were intended to fund, which is phase 6, which is the county-owned land with the bridge and the tunnel, and that's the biggest part of the project. It would be up to the commission, because the master plan's a living, breathing document. It can change. The commission can decide to change it. You can choose to do phase 6 instead of phase 1, 2, and 3. For purposes of the grant and the $6.3 million, it was intended for phase 6. The grant didn't specify phases, but it did specify the bridge and the tunnel and the biking trails. The phasing would just be wording change for the grant. If the commission so wants to proceed with that, I'd be happy to reach out to the governor to have that grant contract updated. They know that we've been set back by Helene. Several things have changed. Pricing has increased on all this. This project is probably tripled, if not doubled, if not tripled. So whatever the wishes are of the commission, I'm happy to approach Nashville for changes. I'm happy to send it back, whatever the wishes of this body is.
Anybody else?
So we would need a motion for that, correct? For what? We can send it back.
If the body would like,
I think we would need that to have that. Yeah.
I don't think that the plan's even been presented here.
right, I think it just, Sheriff, if you mind, if the body would like to have, for me to request Ross and Fowler come in and do this full presentation with you, I'd be more than happy if you want to set that on the agenda for possibly next month. We can have them come in and do that presentation, because they're still in developing the master plan. And part of the contract that we entered into with them that the commission approved, the contract includes 2 public hearings. So they have to address the public after being approved by the commission, because the public has to give input on how or what they want, and that could change it. So the master plan can change with public input, commission input. They need the input from the county commission. And then once the county commission does their input, then the public forums happen, and then they take that input, and then they comprise the full, final, living, breathing document of the master plan, based upon all recommendations from all bodies involved. But the public does deserve a chance to be involved in this before a final decision is made on sending money back from a grant. So that's kind of the process, but they really need to start with this body and present that presentation here. I think, Chair, you were there. It's a very good presentation, very in-depth. There is, Commissioner Gwynn, there is alternative routes in there off of 19E that also can be looked at. They're a lot less expensive. There are those options. There are plenty of options, but all of that input would need to come from this body. Once that input comes to them, and then they go out and have the public hearings, and then they take that input from the public, and then they comprise that final document. But you really can't comprise that final document and those final cost estimates until we get what everybody wants in place.
When you have to do property acquisitions,
Yes.
nobody knows what that costs.
Exactly,
it was at 18 million when we last went. So what I'm gonna ask you is, I would be that our committee should be excused from having to abide by that motion that was passed 2 years ago, that I don't have to provide you an estimate for that $5 million. So
whether you will vote yes or no, whether we accept the project or we don't accept it. And that way we can have the presentation come before the body in here. Let you see it, hear it, feel it, make a decision. That way we will have the total amount. You fit your eyes. It's gonna be in phases. It's gonna take you more than 10 years to do it. It's gonna be more than $18 million, if you know what monies we have. So.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to ask them to come and give a presentation, but with the understanding that it is not going to be as long as the one they gave that day.
I will let them know, and it will be very short and to the point with it.
And it'll be October.
Madam Chairman, I also recommend Bill Fowler to have 24 or 25 packets for our individual commissioners to have their information in their hands. Instead of just on the screen.
I agree.
It's a massive project. You sit there and look at it, go ahead and look at the month before you do the final decision.
Would everybody be okay with a possible digital copy? Because digital, just an email, because there's going to be, if it's.
Well, the contract of the AE, for those in our member, we can select the size of the paper that is in our contract. Which is, I think it's 11 by 18 is the regular size for presentations in the AE firm.
Okay, thank you.
All right, end of that topic. Let's see what we're in. Now, number D on the finance management, the first motion for him. Number one is Schaus Incorporated is our contractor that's overseeing the recovery of our disaster. Documentation, photographs, submissions, anything that's have to do with that disaster comes through that contractor. Now, one point, and I was part of it, you know, we're down to where everybody thinks that we're over the disaster. And the biggest reason is because nothing is seen. Your damage is cleaned up, your trees are out of your street. It's kind of like, as an example, in your community, you go drive by where a house is being constructed. 8 or 9 days, you got your block up, got your walls up, you got trusses on. And all of a sudden, you pass for 3 weeks and you don't see nothing going because all the work's on the inside. We're at a point here in the county that works on the inside in submissions. We were privileged to be in a conference with FEMA representative, that is the federal. And in questioning them is because we could not get money being sent back here to the county that we have expended out of our fund balance. We have so far received $260,000, right up $260,000. First it's been paid in any of this disaster has been to this county, and we just got it last month. To let you in your own mind, it was classified, that project that we got paid for that was classified as a rapid funded project. You submitted it 7 months ago and you just got the $200. Now, what do you think the other 10 million is going to be? Okay, the fact was rapid and the other was not classified. The other thing that you noted in this conference, FEMA, the federal, the big cash pot, the sugar daddy, they have the check written for the total disaster. And informed us, all we had to do is the state asked them for that money. We have submitted all of our packages to the federal and they've been accepted. Now they say, and we are told that a contractor by the name of ACDC is the contractor for the state of Tennessee, FEMA. That's the Tennessee part of the emergency management. They have come out since then with 20 additional requirements for submission to the state that was not required by the federal. Now, this has come down federal funds. I think we've met 3 so far.
On some of them, yes, and on the payment process, we're at step 3.
The financial management for the corporation, and also the member of the mayor, Dr. Acuff, other members of our committee is in contact with our state representatives, our state senators, and everybody that goes there and they say, we're losing money up here. You people put requirements that it's unbelievable. As an example, a resubmission back to us. You have a contract, photographed, it was autographed, it was invoiced, it was approved, paid, and they sent back and said, well, we will accept it because we want an endorsement on the back of the check. It's one of those things, oh, by the way, what we get involved with when doing it. So.
I have a comment.
Ma'am.
That's the case. I don't understand why Shouse is not catching some of these issues. That's what we're paying them. So why are they keep sending back? Are they missing things or are they making new rules?
There's been no rules to start. There's no written instruction or rules to that.
We're paying them
Well,
a lot of money.
They done it as the federal. They are very versed. They're extremely well to send the packages to the federal FEMA as directed by the CFR, which is the federal guidelines and regulations and so forth. Now the state's coming in and saying, here's what we want in addition. It is not written, there is not a written list what they want in these packages. Within the federal, we want something else. It's costing us time. $10 million, now if you want to see a tax raise on property, you let this drag out very much further, you'll see next year's taxes, I'd say the highest in this county it's ever been. Because the money that we have spent, $10 million, the interest rate is not going to be in your revenue. And that's quite a bit. So with that being said, Shouse & Company is responsible, will be responsible for the submissions to TEMA. They fulfill FEMA, to TEMA. They have all the documentations, all the photographs, everything that is required by the comptroller's office, policy procedures, and what's set down by the General Assembly. So I'm gonna get into the motion of that, and without them, and good morning, if this does not pass, good luck. There is nobody in this county that can do this. You're kind of at a no pass. Then, I place in the motion to allow the contract to Shouse LLC for professional services to automatically renew for an additional 1-year term as of October 1, 2025, upon the same terms and rates as the current contract. That contract also has a 30-day clause on it. We can say end of it in 30 days, even though the automatic is 1 year. Correct, Mr. Attorney?
Correct.
It's in the contract.
I place it in the motion, Madam
We
Chair.
have a second by, I guess, Aaron, but Ms. Fraser, you're still seconded. Okay, is there any discussion?
Yeah, I've got a couple of comments. I've talked to state representatives.
Sorry, I couldn't see who it was.
Oh, sorry. So I've talked to state representative, talked to people from FEMA. So I've talked to people from the city of Elizabeth. You know, everybody knows that they ended their contract with Shouse. They took it upon themselves. They have 5 people in their accounting department, not counting the ones that do the lights and the water and all that stuff. So I talked to the schools. They not using them, so they're handling it themselves. City of Elizabeth, and we all know they didn't get as much damage as we did, but they did all their debris cleanup. They handled it themselves, you know. So the reason I reached out is because I'd heard rumors about if we got rid of Shouse, we were going to have to resubmit everything. That's not true. I talked to all 3 parties. That's not a true statement. So to me, you've got to go out on your own at some point in time. Now we're sitting here with a $40 million debt we're going to start paying on. a $7 million debt we're going to start paying on. And we're talking about putting almost 19 million into a Tweetsie trail. So to me, I think we should be looking at where we can save some money. And I think this is one of the places that we can save some money. That's my personal opinion. That's why I did the homework. I wanted to get all their, input on it. And, I just don't see any reason to keep them on. I yield.
The question I have is, if you don't, who's going to do it?
Okay,
Just
we're in discussion. Commissioner Childers.
Carolyn, I've got a question up to when we signed the contract to now, and you may or may not have this. You can always send it out in an email. How much have we reimbursed Shouse Company up to this point? As far as how much do you think approximately?
I don't know, honestly, off the top of my head, what their invoices would be. I could probably answer some of the other invoices and what we spent on different projects. But I will give you an example for debris. We went over the 7 million mark that we had taken the loan for. They were in charge of that project. At the stage we are right now with FEMA and TEMA, we're in the question stage. So their responsibility was to take care of that. Wasn't mine, wasn't EMA. They are the ones that have to answer those questions. So what happens at this point in the stage, from what I'm understanding from the meetings I've been in with TEMA, FEMA, and ACDC, if we cannot answer those questions, then that project can be kicked out. And so we need their expertise to answer those questions. There are some of these items that I've been able to handle. I'm handling as much as I can just to keep the cost down of a consultant or using anybody else for that matter of fact for the county. But that is a prime example. If those questions aren't answered, then we won't get our money back. And so that would be my main concern with doing something like that, is they are the experts in that field and I'm not. And so, I can be asked the question, but I can't necessarily answer that question because I wasn't out in the field when that process was being done. Other things that I can answer, I do that. And I respond to the RFIs or give whoever, whether it's Kathy or whoever's inputting into the portal, I give them that information. But that is a major one. The roadways would be the same way. If I'm not incorrect, Shannon, is they have been handling that. That's another large portion of this project. Would you be able to answer all those questions?
No, ma'am.
If it was not for their expertise? That's my two concerns right now with not continuing this contract. I want us to get back every dime we can possibly get back from these projects, and those are my main two concerns. The rest of the stuff, a lot of that we can handle on our own, and we do. They only charge us for the hours they work. They don't charge us a retainer or anything of that nature. They just charge us for what they work.
I still would like sometime within the next 2 weeks to get something in email, because I would like to know. It's a little bit hard for me to swallow that this is the only company that knows anything. And I heard Commissioner Johnson just say, well, okay, they're putting in new rules, new regulations. Anytime you deal with the state or federal government, there's a lot of red tape. We're not going to be getting any monies back probably for another 3 years. I feel like the government right now is slow walking, not just us, but everybody. So we're going to keep a company that we don't even know how much we are paying right now a year, unknown, and that they're the experts. Yes, I understand that, but I believe in asking questions and making phone calls, because the other counties are not using them. And when I've talked to them, they're doing just fine. They're in the same boat with us. They're running into problems with the federal and state level government. So that's something to think about, spending another possibly 12 months not getting any money back. Rules and regulations changing. You can't tell me this is the only option. I can't accept that, but thank you. I yield.
If I could respond to that, please. First of all, if you'd asked me that in advance, I could have had that number for you. I don't have my computer with me.
I understand.
And I don't want to guesstimate. I prefer to use accuracy on when I give an explanation, which is why I use that for an example, because unfortunately, I live some of these numbers all the time. So I'll be happy to get that to you. But it is a little bit different situation. They have no control over what TEMA and FEMA change, and it's typically TEMA and ACDC that are changing the rules. That has nothing to do with them. And I will correct you, we are in the pipeline to get the 260,000 back. As I stated tonight, the 1 million that we spent on the temporary bridges, as soon as that comes back from the Fed, it should go through the TEMA process, hopefully more quickly, because we've already answered all those questions on that project, and we will be getting that $1 million back. So it will not be 3 years. I don't know how long. They're saying 60 days. We're at step 3 of 14. So since nobody's been to this process with TEMA at this point, we have no estimate. I mean, we're just guessing at 60 days and hoping for that. As far as the $1 million, as soon as we get the federal approval again for the large project obligation, but they were also part of that process of getting that done. It could be still sitting at step 0. So they are trying to be an advantage to this county because we have them who have the expertise. We don't, as the finance department, we don't have that expertise. I'm learning very quickly, but I've not been doing this for years. I've been doing it for a year now.
I guess the only other thing that I would like to say is for what they're paying them, we could, I'm sure, hire 3 to 4 full-time people with benefits that could come in and do this, and we would probably be saving several $1 million. I yield.
Commissioner Odom, you were next.
Yes, for one, based upon the last month, if we just average, one was at 60-something thousand, one was at 50-something thousand. If we average that for this next year, we're looking at $720,000. That's what we're looking at. But I personally, for us, this was our agenda. You all knew it was on our agenda. I think it's really bad to ask a question, how much, if we're considering paying them for 1 more year. I think that the question that Commissioner Childers asked was a good question. How much have we paid them for 1 year? So I would like to take a break. I'm sure it's in the billing. I would like to know a total before we vote on this of what we have totally paid out to this company before voting on this. And I put that in form if I need to of a motion, but that is what I would like is an answer to this question before voting.
I second that.
Madam Chair, point of order. There is a motion already on the floor.
Yeah, we have a motion on the floor right now. But how long would that take?
And I don't mind to provide the information, but that doesn't mean that's what it'll be for the next year. I mean, the majority of that is done.
To know how much we've spent for this thus far, so that correct?
Yes.
Are you wanting it in total, or are you wanting it broken down by the different projects that they've done?
Total with this company's name. What have they received from this county? Total.
Is there a work?
Anything, reimbursements, whatever has been written. We've passed it through here. So our finance department should just have a line item for them to know what they've received in total.
I mean, I can pull them as a vendor. They're not in a separate line item.
Okay, well, as a vendor, there would be a total line item of total, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, that's easy to do. I just won't have time to break it down.
I don't need it broken down. We want in total.
Debris and
Total.
NRCS and road work and all that. I don't have time to do that in 5
We're
minutes.
not asking a breakdown, we're asking a total. That's what I'm asking.
Okay, there's several people ahead of you, and we can decide if we need to take it. How long does it could take you to get this?
I don't know, 5, 10 minutes.
Okay, 5-minute break.
We need to take care of this.
There's a full motion on it.
We got a motion on the floor.
Stop. I was gonna ask the attorney first, please. Stop.
There's a motion and a second on the floor, so unless the full body decides to vote to take a delay instead of voting on the motion. But I mean, technically speaking, the motion and second is active on the floor and it's either gotta be voted on or somebody's gotta change what they're doing, either rescind the motion or agree with an amendment and only vote when you come back. Officially, we're in a motion and second. All we can do now is discuss or vote.
Okay, Commissioner Frazier was the second.
I'm requesting to speak, so I'm not entertaining anything until everybody on the floor has had their opportunity to speak.
All right, well, we will continue. Mr. Clausen was next.
I'd like to ask your permission. There's a gentleman in the audience that's very proficient in all the stuff we're talking about. And I would like to get his take on what we've just heard.
We have a motion and a second on the floor, Madam Chair.
We're out in the middle of a motion, so we can't do that just yet. Motion to delay. I don't think we can do a motion to delay because we have a motion.
There's an active motion and second on the floor. It's either vote on it. If somebody makes a motion to amend and it's.
Right, unless Commissioner Frazier amends his second, we will have to vote on this motion. On the motion. Unless there's gonna be something different discussed. We need to go ahead and vote.
Madam Chair, I've not gotten to speak yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And neither is Ms. Hughes. So I appreciate wanting to get on to the vote, but there's still some points of contention here that can probably help us out. The major thing that whenever this started, the original estimate was around $100 million. Standard PM fees are 15%. If anybody didn't think that we were going to be into this to at least to the tune of $15 million, I don't quite understand, because that exact number was one of the things that were talked about that night, was 15 million. So yes, I understand the fees for Souths are high. For what we're getting out of it long-term is going to be extraordinarily beneficial. But we're not anywhere near 15 million yet. I think their average invoice that we've seen come through have been in the special meetings, I would say have been around 140, 150,000 a month.
Not that much. There've been some that are that high, but some of them have been 50, 60 range. That's what I'm saying. I'm just talking off the top of my head. I would have to go back and pull them. Because keep in mind, I look at hundreds of invoices, so I don't remember the specific amount of all of them.
And it's part of Schedule Z. And then how much of Schedule Z is reimbursable?
I hesitate to say 100%. It is mainly reimbursable. There will be some things that will be kicked out both by TEMA and by FEMA. And as we've stated previously, those rules continue to change. So it's really hard for me to state a definitive when I don't make the rules.
And I get that. But typically, we're talking in a generality, the Schedule Z stuff is 100% reimbursed.
That's what they say, unless they find a technicality to kick out.
And even in worst case, we're at 12.5%.
Yes.
So we know that we're going to be on the hook for at least a total of like $1.5 to $2 million, even at the end after everything is done with Shouse. But now the actual total between infrastructure and all the other stuff, we're up to $180 million in damages that they're trying to recoup for us. So we're looking at just about $30 million in PM fees. And if we get rid of them and Carolyn has to do all of this, and Chad and the other folks in the finance department, our new EMA director, we're going to have to buy them all Xanax. Because it is beyond scope. Beyond scope. Yeah, we could go out and we could hire 5 people, but we would need to hire those 5 people to go shadow Shouse to figure out how to do all of this. Because like Carolyn said, when they start coming back and asking questions and they start throwing stuff out, there goes all our reimbursement. Because if we can't answer the question, it's gone.
Can I add one thing to what you said? Based on their expertise, which is what we're paying them for, is their expertise. They have been able to go in and find things, for example, for administrative cost. I mean, I would not have had any way of knowing this, but they pull my time. We have hired other people. They have pulled in time for volunteers. We wouldn't have known to do that. So there are things that they bring to the table that none of us would know because we've never been through a situation like this before. And so that helps.
Mr. Hughes.
Thank you. And I'm just going to reiterate what Carolyn just said, because like what she's talking about, they pulled in time from the highway department staff. All the work that they're doing counts to those. Any of the other work, what we got up there, 4 or 5 people that are from TEMA, FEMA, and Shouse that are at the highway department and just like basically living there. Like that's the only thing they're doing is the 26 road projects.
We've got Laurie that works for Shouse, and she's brought a lady from mitigations up that's almost there every day. As of right now, she has found the mitigation, probably around $2 million.
That's extra $2 million that we did not know about.
Exactly, but she's went out and done mitigation and found the money to work on the roads, purchase pipe and culverts that we didn't even have a clue that's out there.
Yeah.
And if they wasn't here, I still wouldn't have a clue that's out there.
Exactly. I mean, like, was it Shell Creek that there was one road that they basically got the whole road kind of covered where it was first.
One whole complete project.
Yeah. Before that, it was just like there was little bits and pieces that they had in there. But because of them, they actually got the whole thing worked out. So there's just so many like factors that nobody, like kind of what Brad said. I mean, this is the people inside doing all the work that nobody's really seeing all this paperwork right now. And as far as Cat Z, like what Aaron said, Cat Z, I don't want to say the whole percentage either, but it's a great portion of it that is going to be reimbursed. So if you're spending 15 million on this and you get back 10 million, that's still better than what we would be able to do if we had our finance department doing it. Because you don't have enough hours a day to go up to the highway department and sit there. But they've been up there for weeks now.
Yeah, Laura's been here, gosh, months. She goes home maybe once a month or twice.
Yeah.
Back. Stays in Johnson City. She's there every morning after we leave. A lot of times she works on Friday.
Yeah.
Or the lady from mitigation comes in and works on Fridays.
So I yield.
Mr. Thomas.
Just a couple quick questions. I assume that what's in our packet is not the new contract, right? Because all the dates are wrong.
That's the original contract from a year ago.
So the new one will be on
Even signed.
the new dates. So, and it does allow us to cancel the contract with a 30-day notice. So Carolyn, do you have any feel for how much longer we're going to need them?
I don't have an estimate of how long the road projects are going to take. And I don't know how, at this point, we are just starting to get into the RFI process. We typically have just anywhere from 2 to 5 days to answer those questions. Once we've gone through that process a little further, then I'll have a better estimate. But we just literally have started that in the past 3 weeks, where they're starting to get to a point where they're asking questions. So as we go through the projects, then I'll have a better idea. But right now, I would be hesitant to give an estimate.
So do you think it'll be a whole year?
I mean, I really don't know based on the road projects.
Remember, you got 3 bridges. You got 3 bridges, and then you got 300 and some miles of asphalt down DE.
And that's what we go down this year.
You're only in the architectural phase of the bridges right now. No construction has been done on them. From the information that we have received from FEMA, our contractor, and our AE firm, those are 2 years away.
Anybody else, any commissioner has a question or comment? Okay, the motion on the floor right now is to vote to renew this contract. And
Just go.
correct? That was your motion.
And numbers you want.
Raise your second. We're gonna have to take a vote before anything else can be done, if I understand correctly.
That's the way we understand it right now, unless somebody does something else.
So if there's any more comments, we need to take a vote. Off this,
Terry Profit.
Commissioner Barlow.
It's gonna be interesting.
Mr. Smith.
I yield the floor, Madam Chair. Thank you.
That'll be good. Carolyn has the numbers, she says.
I'm sorry, I can't see, so I didn't know. Can those be emailed out to us also? I'm saying maybe emailed out to us also.
Yeah, we have it. He went and pulled it while we were.
If you give us that total.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was writing notes on it. Total is $858,273.97. That includes debris, roads, NRCS, mitigation grants, and then other assistance. So that's what I wrote down on my notes to, if you need a split up of that. That will take some time, but it can be done.
All right, thank you. All right, we're down to attorney report.
Okay, I want to be short. No new litigation filed. I mean, the county is a party this month. I have filed and pursued, I think 4 new code violation complaints this month. We had court hearings on 3 of those cases this past month as well. Those are all still in process. One was resolved totally and one is coming back for a contempt hearing. Other than that, the general work that I do every month will be in the written report. That'll be in the minutes unless anybody has a question.
Does anybody have any questions?
I got one for the attorney. Since this contract is over 25,000, would that not have to go to bid?
Professional service.
It's professional service when it was first initiated. So we're still under the original contract. And back to the earlier question, there won't be a new contract. This original contract is still the contract. It auto renews 1 year at a time. So the dates on it won't change. It just auto renews, but it has always been and still is a 30-day contract. Because we don't have to have any reason or cause. We just have to provide 30-day notice. Anyway.
Okay, before we go into commissioner comments, we're gonna make sure that there's no changes for any more changes on the October calendar. Just okay. Anyone wish to comment?
I just wanted to introduce the new landfill director, Nathan Hill, on the back row.
Any other commissioner?
That's crazy.
Commissioner Smith?
I just want to say one thing. I voted on a lot of things here in the last 3 years. We voted on things that change lives, that alter the way the county has worked. We took votes on lots of things. That vote we just took was one of the hardest for me to count. Simply because I'm terrified of seeing citizens of Carter County lose 1 penny either way. Do you do it on the side of, well, we hope we can get all the money without having them, or do you do it on hoping that you can get all the money with them? But that is one of the hardest votes that I've had.
Is there any other commission comments?
I just want to announce that tomorrow night at 6, the Carter County Federated Republican Women are having a meeting, a monthly meeting, and we're remembering Hurricane Helene, and we're celebrating Carter County Strong. So we'll have 4 speakers, and if you are interested, we invite you to come and join us.
I'd like to make a comment. Thank you all for this. A big meeting than I thought it was going to be, but thank you all for your support. I would like to have you all bring your computer to the meetings so that if this happens again, we can pull up any information if that's possible.
Sure, but if I could have questions in advance, that would be very helpful.
That's my next comment. If possible, please send her email questions ahead of time. If possible, I realize things happen on the spur, but it would help and she can hopefully get more exact answers for us, because I realize there's questions. And my last comment is, I do think we need a exit plan, and I've said this before, with the Schaus company. And I think that needs to be taken into consideration. A little disappointed that they're not here, and at a couple of the meetings at least. I'd like to see someone here from that company. There's no more comments. Second by.
She wants to see them.
We'll have to go.
My best.